Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. It is Saturday night, and we're very happy to have you with us. You may have had to jump one or two streams in the last few minutes, but that's just the Baltic Star way. We like to be awkward and difficult, and we're doing it yet again this evening. Thank you so much, those of you that are here, or those of you that are watching in VOD. Of course, in VOD, you can fast forward all this nonsense and get to the serious, meaty stuff if you so wish. But those of you that are here are stuck with the whole shebang for as long as you're here. You could be here 5 minutes, absolutely fine. You could be here for a couple of hours, that's also excellent. We shall try and take a break at some point in the middle. I will forget, someone will remind me, and then we'll have the break at that point. If it's your first time, you're very welcome, of course. We love first-time viewers / listeners, and we love our returnees, of course. If you want to chat, feel free to chat. The chat box is it's there for me. It's probably somewhere else for other people, but it's there for me because I'm on OBS. Feel free to chat or lurk. Both things are wonderful. If you want to chat, we'll be friendly. We have some irregulars and that will be friendly as well. If they chat. But if any of us are not busy, I guess at any moment, we tend to slide into chat and interact with you. Things you say might become canon. Who knows? They might not be, but they might be. Or you can just chat amongst yourselves, make fun of us or me or whatever you want to do. And most people generally do, but we enjoy all the input in that regard. There's a little red sun somewhere which you can click on, which is to spend your channel points, your credits. There's a whole range of things. Anything that's sort of a dark pinky will make a noise when you click on it.
Get to the chopper!
Other things will interact with the game in different ways. Have a look around and see. You can name an NPC in game. We're going somewhere where there's like...
Mind you, this end, I'll come over this road occasionally. I don't mind going abroad.
Come on, going abroad. There's like 30 miners where we're going, so there's a lot of NPCs to name, and I haven't named many of them at all yet. So if these guys start asking me all their names, I'll just be saying Bob, Bobby, Bobette. So hopefully he will get some of that. You can give them a boon, very useful. This is a very deadly game. So you can just have a go at anything you want to do. Have a click, find out. There's one special thing we keep as 1 credit every single game. If you agree with something, or you want to drink to something, or you want to be part of a moment, I'll drink to that. Is 1 credit, always will be a credit, always has been a credit, and it's just a chance to get involved cheaply, I guess. And we'll raise a glass and this very disappointing wine, and we'll be happy you're here. I think that's that with regards to all of that. I suppose I'll do some introductions, and I suppose we better get started. My name is Luke. I'm the General Monitor, which makes me sound like a mixture between an 80s business and a nerdy kid at school. But I'm both those things, and I'm here to lead everyone else through this game and try my best to keep them alive despite their own bungling attempts, especially Liam Deturi, who I'm pretty certain is only alive because Shay Hawkins has some level of ability.
It's very true.
Speaking of which, he is my brother from another mother. He is the Floofmeister General. He's the housewife's favourite and the sweatiest man in Faversham. Especially as I'm making Tony's fan off because it's too noisy. It is the wonderful Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Luke. It was one night, I listened a little bit too much. Oh,
what a night.
You never live it down. Let that be a lesson to anybody on the internet. I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Good. I hear you were in a quiz this evening. Ewan, after your my mighty victory earlier in the week, did you follow it up with another win?
No, I came second. It's a lesson to me to never go to a quiz without Luke, apparently.
It's a good lesson. You're learning, which is very important.
That's the point of a quiz, I think.
Yeah, learning. Yeah. Putting what you've learned into... Hopefully, next time we do the quiz, they'll be around on soaps.
Better not be. Stupid soap round.
But anyway, I'm proud of you anyway. I'm proud of your second place. That's still useful.
Thanks.
Were there more than 2 teams?
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well done.
11 teams.
11 teams. Fantastic.
Well, possibly 2 teams, but they counted them in Roman numerals.
I
You
can't
may-
argue with that.
You've
He
made
may
me
be right.
Speaking of someone who's always right, um, she is one of our all-time faves. She comes to us from up north somewhere. No one's quite sure where. It's a mysterious space between the north and the south, where
It's
people
mind you,
are.
this end, I'll come over this road occasionally, I don't mind going abroad.
Where, in my experience, people are wonderful, and the place is a beautiful place. And they've brought to us a beautiful and wonderful person in Gilly. Good evening, Gilly. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. It's been a while.
It has been a while. You've been up to much excitement over the last few months?
Um, no, not really. I'm pretty boring. Just work, pub, eat, sleep.
Yes. Three of those things are good.
RPG.
RPG. Well, I think that's all right. I think as long as you're sort of balancing out that work with the drinking, everything's okay. You going anywhere nice for your holidays this summer?
We haven't booked it yet, but we're thinking of going to Rhodes in September.
Oh, sounds beautiful. I only have to walk one
Mm.
step outside my door to go to a road. So,
Yeah, it's actually spelt slightly differently, Luke.
I know, I know, I know. I'm only saying it because I'm incredibly jealous of Guinea's trip, potentially. So I need to make a joke to feel better about myself.
Well, absolutely.
And speaking of someone that always makes me feel worse about myself, he is the smartest man in any room. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence. He is a man who you want in a sticky situation in space. Um, he's a wonderful gentleman, a scholar, and has fine, fine facial hair. Today, yes, it's back, so that's good. It is our beloved and sensual Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Yes. Yes. Looking forward to this very much as always.
It's been a while, hasn't it? It's nice to get it out again.
It has. Yeah. Starting to feel the oxygen running low. I don't think we've replenished the tanks in a while.
No, well, that's a good point. That's reminded me to make sure that oxygen is an important thing in this mission. Thank you, Ben.
Well
I,
done.
I now feel very foolish.
Wow, you're doing your bit, and that's what I appreciate. Let's quickly go through who everyone's playing, and then we'll get into the game itself, I guess. So, the game is Those Dark Places, which is written by Jonathan Hicks. It's a wonderful game which we really enjoy. It's very straightforward in that all of our heroes here have skills which you can see underneath their names, and they'll add that to a roll of d6, 1d6 plus their skill, and they're hitting a target number, which is normally 8 or 7 or 9, depending, for a success or a failure or a success, but with slightly dodgy outcomes, if that makes sense. It's quite straightforward. Combat is deadly. Somehow they're still alive, even though none of them can shoot anything. Although I think Misha actually shot things recently, which is amazing. And and you don't have your security officer with you this time around either, so you're totally out on your own. But anyway, let's do some introductions. Ewan, who are you playing in this adventure?
I'm playing Liam Deturi, the aforementioned person who is barely making it through alive, mostly being dragged through by Gilly, if I'm honest. He is the ship's liaison officer with a little bit of backup on science, if need be.
I think liaison's a good role for him because he's by far the most charismatic person on the ship.
I'm not sure whether that's sarcasm or not, Luke, to be honest.
No, I think it's literal, sadly.
Yes,
Which is probably a reflection on my charisma. But thanks. Either way.
I let you get away with far too much just because of you, rather than Liam. To be honest, your charisma just seeps over. Now there is someone on the crew who is actually skilled and actually is earning their place in the crew, and that is the person who Gilly is playing. Please tell us more about her tonight.
I am playing Helm Officer Extraordinaire, Shay Hawkins. She's quite handy with her little flower pot stilts. Perhaps thinks she's a bit cooler than she is, I feel. Very uncharismatic.
Like you say, good behind a gear stick.
Oh
She's,
yeah, yeah.
Now Shay is famous, if you haven't watched it before, anyone, for rolling very high when it comes to helm manoeuvres, and is generally seeing the crew through on their beloved Nakaru, the ship, very well. And I was listening through to the last episode today, making final notes, and thinking, "Oh, Shay's brilliant. Look at her flying things perfectly." And she rolled a 1 on the graph. Finally got behind the wheel of the Grahams. Immediately rolled a 1, and I feel like, how does she feel now that the sheen of her perfection might be slightly tarnished?
Oh, no, it was just a test. Just a test. Just making sure everyone's paying attention.
Yeah. Suddenly everybody was, I promise.
I mean, you can't make the rest of us look bad. Not all the time, anyway.
I've heard it's because the Grahams is an automatic ship, whereas the Nakuru is manual. It's just a little bit different. But still, Shay's good, and any first time viewers, keep an eye out for her as the one that's actually skilled. There is someone else that's kind of skilled though, and he has proven his own, crawling around in vents, being leered at by slightly deranged androids. Ben, tell us about your character.
Well, very well. I play a chap called Misha Renkov. He is a science and engineering officer, and he's, as it turns out, not all that competent at most things. But he has developed, oddly, some unexpected skill with handguns for no adequately explored reason, because he shouldn't be able to do that very well.
I still have no idea how you do it, because to fire a handgun, for people that don't know, it's an agility roll. And somehow you were hitting incredible rolls numerous times in a row. I think
Yeah.
he's just got into a big kill streak.
Yes, it turns out I can't do anything else, but that I'm quite good at. Well, until the last one or two.
You certainly
We don't count the last one or two. That doesn't seem fair to count the last one or two.
No, they were very much afterthoughts. I think you'd already realised you were going to be all right by then. You have earned, of course, the grudging respect of the security officer, Eddie Clarkson, who seemed to be on your case, but seems to like you a bit better now, Misha.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure that respect is reciprocated. I think I like him a little bit more than I did when we first started, but I'm not sure about him yet.
Well, as I said, he, along with your other two crewmates, Carla and Evan, are safely up on the Nakuru, being part of their side of the mission. Whereas the three of you, if you remember or not, have been called down for another part of the mission that maybe you weren't expecting when you were given the job. So if the three of you are happy, I'll lead you through the intro to this bit and then hand over to you to do your part of the job and earn your, I believe if it's done in 3 days, thanks to Liam, 1,000 days worth of payment, which is good. That's good pay indeed. So
how long did you say?
it's got to be done in 3 days, and it's day 1 has started.
Thanks.
Make a note of that. Good. Okay. So this is the personal log of Nakuru navigator Carla Munro, currently sat aboard Maitland Inc. supply ship the Nakuru, with the always delightful Eddie Clarkson and currently malfunctioning SAM unit Evan. The rest of the ship, Shay Hawkins, Misha Renkov and Liam Daturi, have headed down to the mining base Asteroid Mining Cache 222 on a moon orbiting the rather imposing gas giant Gliesa 3. Here on the Nakuru, our mission, provided to us by Maitland and by Adjo Mensa, a strange older corporate liaison officer, aboard the even stranger Attili station is to resupply AMC-222's orbiting craft, the Grahams, which the miners in the base below are using as a rotational 1-week leave for 3 of the 30 miners at any time. From the sounds of it, I'd imagine that 80% of the supplies loaded on the Antilles are alcohol and drugs. We will also load the Grahams up with supplies to be taken down to AMC-222 below. That is our mission to be completed. However, Hawkins, Renkov and Daturi have been tasked with another mission. They have gone down to the base on the Grahams, which will be returning to us shortly with 3 new on-leave miners coming back up for the resupply. They've gone down to get to the bottom of a concerning situation. Mining of the important mineral cerium, that's C-E-R-I-U-M, has halted. 2 miners are dead and another missing, and Maitland are losing money by the day, while the miners are, unsurprisingly, refusing to work until their safety can be assured. For once, I am happy to remain on board the peeling, shabby, run-down ship that we grudgingly call home. I feel that resupplying fridges with beer and cupboards with cheap white label snacks is preferable to trying to get to the bottom of a serious incident while contained in a tiny industrial space with 24 stressed, tired and drained miners. I wish our crewmates luck, but for now it's time for a coffee. Monroe, out. So, where the 3 of you left off, if you remember, I shall load up the map. I hope it's visible for you. You landed on board onto the landing pad to the left-hand side of the map on board the Grahams. The pad felt very much the right shape and size for the Grahams, which is larger than the Nakuru, and seemed to fit snugly on the pad. You changed into your suits, your spacesuits, before walking out onto basically the surface of the moon. AMC-222 is a unit that's built back sort of outside larger ships, put together, constructed, and then towed to the moons, and basically drilled down into the moon until its work is done, before it's removed and taken back off for its next job somewhere else. So you are literally on a man-made drill, just drilled into the side of a moon, overlooked by a huge gas giant. Off the ship, you left the 3 drunken or drugged out miners to worry about their own air recycling, and probably where to puke. And you made your way through the airlock into the umbilical, which is, again, to the left-hand side, just coming off the landing pad. As you worked your way down the umbilical, there were air blowers that were sort of blowing out more oxygen-rich air, so that by the time you reached the slightly rusted, mouldy, not so pleasant umbilical and got to the door at the other end, the slight weightlessness you'd felt had sort of given way to a more Earth-like atmosphere. And although you were still in your spacesuits and your helmets, you could tell from the recording devices and such like that air was much more close to breathable. In front of you is a large door with a keypad and a light, which Misha Renkov pressed because he is the brave one after all. And as we return, the door slides open, revealing a dark corridor behind. Over to you.
We do have lights, don't we, on our suits?
Yes, you do. You got like chest-mounted torches that you can flick on you.
Well, if it isn't on, I'm going to flick that on and see what I can see down the corridor.
Okay. Could you please roll for me? We're going to do some rolls. I'm going to make it very roll heavy tonight.
Early roll.
Early roll. I like
Very
early
early
rolls.
roll.
Early rolls. We're going big on the rolls today. I'm trying to get you all killed tonight, and rolls are a good way of doing that. Could you please roll let's go a 1d6 plus your education
Okay.
I'll give you your engineering just because it's sort of an understanding of layouts of walls and things like that.
Okay, that's +5.
Oh,
Fantastic.
whoa, that's a bit too easy.
Take it back. Take it back.
Well, you say it's too easy. I have a trick to solve that. That's a total of 6.
Oh, oh no. As you sort of peer through the door, what you thought was a long corridor going forwards appears to be an open doorway into another room. But you can't really tell much of what there. There appears to be dim light in there. There appears to be hallways to the left and the proper hallways to the left and the right, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But you can't tell too much more. Just that it looks dimly lit as if it was. Your best bet would be that it's like a falsely created nighttime, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
Just to keep people sane.
Well, if I'm by the door, I'm going to sort of lean out and look left and right down the corridor.
Okay. Looking left, you notice that that direction is a bit of a longer distance, and it's a straight corridor down to the far end where it swings round to the right, which is
Yep.
the top left, as you see.
Mhm.
But it seems to be empty of people or empty of anything of note apart from a few crates piled up. You know, very reminiscent of when the Nakuru maybe has some is carrying supplies, and the corridors tend to have some crates shoved on one side, some open, some closed. It's got the same sort of strip lighting that you're used to with, but this one is like it's very dirty strip lighting high up in the wall, and it's
Yep.
again it appears to have been turned down to a darker, attempted nighttime, brightness. The right is very similar, but it's a shorter distance to the corner.
Okay, I'm going to report to the others. I'm not getting party vibes. Nobody seems to be here. No welcoming committee, at least.
Shay and Liam,
Hmm.
could you both roll an education check for me, please, before we continue? Liam, you can add your liaison.
Yeah,
Oh no.
thanks.
That's a 6.
I've got a 5 plus 6 is an 11.
Shay, Misha, as Misha's turned around to face you, you can't see anything past his handsome, strapping frame. Liam's at a slightly different angle, and he can see over his shoulders. Misha's making a big thing about there being no one there. Liam, you can see 2 people walking out of the security office behind him. There's no one here. There's no one here, and there's 2 people walking towards him.
Liam sort of looks at him and says, are you sure? How's your oxygen level? And points sort of over Misha's shoulder.
It's okay, I think. Look. Can I step over the corridor and walk into that space directly opposite?
Into the security space. You can. That is indeed where the 2 people are walking from that office down that little bit of corridor. So as you step
Good.
over there, you will see 2 figures.
I'd like to meet them there if I can, rather than here.
Doki, is Misha just going alone to meet, or are Shay and Liam joining him?
Oh, I'll follow. Got your back.
Liam was letting me go. This feels like a liaising thing. Got one job, damn it.
And it's stupid, but I'm going to do it. So yeah, I will step over, and as I do, I will say, "Good evening," taking my cue from the lights. We're here to save the day.
Oh god! Did you really just say that?
Yep.
That means you have to roll a charisma check, please.
but I don't have any of that.
Then maybe you shouldn't make such quippy remarks.
That's a total of 4.
So there's one. There's of the two figures. One is female, one is male, and the male one um, visibly rolls his eyes at you. He he looks ex-military. He has that sort of vibe about him that anyone that's been around the military knows straight away. He has that expression on his face that he suffers no fools.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's quite a gruff-looking face. He looks hard and like he's seen it all. He's dealt with it all. He's put up with it all. He's and he's dealt with it all by swinging fists at times. If you know what I mean, keeping people in check that way. The woman with him appears to be sort of in her 40s, from what you can tell. That sort of age. She looks tired and wearied. It's hard to totally take in her age because she's wearing a rebreather over the bottom half of her mouth, like over her
Okay.
face. The other man isn't, but she is, and as she's breathes, you can hear it's like clicking, sort of through the rebreather, which would drive you mad if you had to wear it for any length of time. Which might explain the slight madness in her eyes. So the two of them walk up to you. They do reach out for a tight handshake if anyone's willing to take a handshake.
Yeah, I'll take a handshake. No problem at all.
Liam will grab the other one, and in fact he'll actually say, "No, we're not here to save the day. You know how things are. We've been sent here. Things are falling behind. We've just been given a job. You know what they're like."
Roll a charisma plus your liaison, please.
It's another 5 plus 4 is a 9. It started strong. It's only going to go badly from here.
Liam's in his element tonight. You get a nod. You get a nod from the two of them that seem to turn their view more to you, Liam, and Shay. And Misha feels the cold shoulder upon him, quite frankly, somewhat. Both of them look haggard and pale. That vent in her rebreather is clicking every time she takes a breath between sentences. Glad you're here, she says. This whole situation is out of hand. We've got workers sitting around all day doing nothing, and we're so far behind schedule, it's insane. This, she points to the man, this is Parks. Parkes.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be the security officer. Before you can say anything, Parks interrupts angrily. My tour's over. I'm not getting paid to babysit visitors. I can help you with the station and anything you might need, but this situation is outside of my current status. I would have helped, but the company wouldn't agree on payment terms or even a bonus, so I ain't doing no more than I need to. I already have to keep an eye on this crew of miners 24/7. I'm doing no more, so here we are. Flock looks at him with her bloodshot eyes. Her eyes narrow and cuttingly. There's obviously grief between the two.
Mm.
And she looks back to you. Anyway, if you need anything that doesn't require any actual help, then Parks is your man. Parks merely sticks his middle finger up at her and storms off down the corridor, leaving the three of you with the lady.
Just before you go, Parks, I did have a question.
Roll a... We're going to make an opposed roll.
Okay.
Could you please roll a d6 with your charisma?
Oh, this is going to be a very poor opposed roll, isn't it?
Depends how good it is.
That's a total of 5.
Okay. He, as he walks away, you see him stick the finger up behind him towards you, I guess, and that's the last thing before you see him stride off around the corner, up the top to the right.
I'm going to turn to my two friends and say, to be fair, that was the answer I was looking for.
Liam will look at them both and just say, "You guys have got this, right?" And he'll start sort of backpedaling towards following Parks.
Okay.
Okay, so Liam's heading off. Liam's heading off down the corridor. We've got Shay and Misha with the lady in front of you.
So, Flock, nice to meet you. We've got a few things, haven't we? We've got a production problem, but that has an underlying reason, as I understand it. There've been accidents and things like that.
Yeah. Let me. I can get you up to speed with that. Come into the. Come and sit down in the security office with me. And she motions to the two of you to follow her in.
That works for me.
Yep, I'll follow.
Okay. I'm just gonna move. Got to move some pictures. For some reason, the thing reset and it's bumped you all out of my little graphics. So we'll pretend you're walking along nicely while I do that.
That's right. You got all the important people.
What? What are you saying? Because
I was going to say you've got all the important. No, when I was up.
You've just been getting at me all night, you, and you're too sassy tonight. I don't know if I like it.
No, not you, me. My camera. Good.
Oh, you. I think that's good. Right, okay. So, Shay.
Yes.
You're going to be the better role at this. Could you roll education plus medical for me, please?
Yep, so that's 3 plus 6 is 9.
Fantastic. So, as you're walking behind, you notice that along the wallway, there's various pegs which have more of these rebreathers along. Some have had like spray painted initials, or numbers on. Some are sort of left. Some appear to be a bit broken. Some in working order. But it appears that these are quite important around the station. They're used and loved. Well, not loved, but they're used and important. The two of you follow her into security. She's got a desk, she's got screens, and there's a couple of chairs in there as well. A couple of filing cabinets, metallic wardrobe sort of thing in the corner. A fake potted plant is the only thing that brings a bit of joy to the area. And even joy is pushing it. Please, two, if you take a seat.
I will do so, assuming that doesn't require an agility roll.
I'm not that desperate to kill you.
Okay. I'm just saying, if it requires an agility roll, I'm staying standing.
Yeah, I'll take a seat too.
Fantastic.
Good.
I don't need the roll. Shay does that more beautifully than you, looking at the agilities.
Yeah, I suspected so.
She can carry out the Riker maneuver without a problem. The leg goes over the back. So, let me get you up to speed then. So the elevator to the mine is out of action. As she's saying, she sort of pulls over a map that's sort of out of a drawer and shoves it in, which shows you pretty much what you're looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that is on the right-hand side where it says elevator, down a long corridor.
Yep.
Those dark grey doors are sort of heavy doors, so you can see there's a doorway just before the elevator, almost like an extra security measure, I guess.
Okay.
The elevator to the mine is out of action. We've got a couple of workers fixing it now. We think it's an issue at the bottom of the shaft. something has been jammed in the workings, stopping it from working, and we've got to get that cleared. Hopefully in a few hours. Hopefully by some point tomorrow.
I mean, thank you. I was hoping for a little bit more. Like, don't you have someone who went missing?
Yeah. This is why we're wondering about the blockage at the bottom of the mine. We don't know if it was someone, if it's her, if she's purposefully blocked it to stay down there by herself. It's not a place that people want to spend much time in. It's pretty bleak down there in the mines, but people have been doing funny things, you know.
Well, sure. And you had some injuries as well. How did those happen?
The injuries happened down in the mines. We're trying to run through footage at the minute, trying to get to the bottom of it. But yeah, 2 are dead. Marco and White. They're in. Well, it was the common room, but you know how things are mining, dangerous. For the last couple of years, we've had to turn the common room into a med bay. It hasn't gone down too well with the miners, as I'm sure you'd not be surprised. But you know,
What's the name of the missing miner?
missing miner is Jenny Turrans, Turrans. We don't
Aaron. Okay.
Turrans, yeah, Jenny Turrans.
Okay.
She's not up here. We've looked around, and you ain't going to get far out onto the moon itself.
Fair enough. I suppose. How many crew are there here in total?
In total, 30. There's at any one time you've got the 3 up on the Grahams. You've had the 3 just come back, and another 3 will be going up shortly, as soon as we sort of bang a bit more fuel in the Grahams and turn around and send up for the rest of your team to restock. There's the 3 of us, I guess, in charge of running things in a way. There's me. I'm the station manager, Flock. There's the medical officer, Lattimore.
Mm-hmm.
And he's all right. He's out of his depth, really. We used to have a really good medical officer, but he died, and Lattimore came down not too long ago to replace him, and he's still not really up to speed. I think it's his first tour, quite frankly. And then we've got Parks, where you've met Parks, and Parks is Parks, really. He came down to act as security, but there's not really need for security. Yeah, there's fights and a bit of aggro in that, but everyone's got to get up for work the next day, so he's kind of been more as a foreman, there to sort of keep everyone in line and sort of be a voice for the miners, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's like I say, so it's 30 in total. 3 of us, 3 up on the Grahams at any time, and everyone else should be mining in a couple of shifts, but we ain't been mining since that's all shut down. Since the death.
So the other people here, the miners, where would I find them? In their bunks or?
Sure, we got the main bunks, private bunks. Oh, she points to the map. Private bunks are for the 3 of us, for our space. Miners are very much holed up in the bunks. Some do sleep in the common area in the med bay if there's space. So a couple have taken up. The guys in charge of storage tend to sleep in storage. You even find a few sleeping off a heavy night in recyc. Anywhere they can, really. This sort of base is just purely made for mining and sleeping. They come down, work for a run of like 5-6 years, and that's your 25 done. It's good bonuses up here.
Understood. Okay. Then what I'm getting is for the next couple of hours, there's really nothing we can do until the elevator's fixed. There's no other way down into the mine, is there? Not from the planet's surface or anything.
Nope, only one way up, only one way down, and it's through the shaft. And we've got our teams working on it as it is. I recommend you not going down there, to the elevator shaft until it's sorted. You're not covered by insurance, and health and safety will go mad at it. Our people know how it works. They know what they're doing. We don't want bonuses cut because of another injury, especially to a crew from another ship.
I'm sure that would be awful for you. Yes. Okay. If you're running this place and there was the beginnings of trouble, people were upset, people had a problem, people were getting hurt, someone from the miners has got to have come to you and said, this is what's going on. Whether or not you believe them, were they just making stuff up, or was there an underlying reason that had them worried?
Well, on the if you're talking about our two murdered workers, I guess, and the situations around that, they were found in the mines by other workers, and they were found torn apart. That's all we know. There's something had torn through their armored spacesuits. You need spacesuits down there, and ripped them to shreds. Our initial thought was a plasma cutter, but there were no scorch marks. So all the doc could surmise was some kind of heavy blade of some sort.
A heavy blade. I mean, like something you might use as mining equipment, or don't you use blades?
Like, blades are used in it, but it's generally more for maintenance more than mining. Blades are around. A lot are stored downstairs, like down in the mine entrance. You've got to be. It's dangerous out there. You've got to have what you can. Cutting through something might save your life.
Yeah, though apparently not on this occasion. It was rather the reverse.
Well, like I say, it's just the two of them died. Jenny.
Oh, well, then that's okay then. That's fine.
She's certainly not, but Jenny, that's Jenny. Jenny went missing when the men turned up dead, and that's why we're concerned about her. We put it down to like a bout of hysteria. We found broken equipment and blood, and then we found that the airlock had been cycled. So we thought she'd taken a walk out into space with no suit. But the more we think about it, the more that seems unlikely.
Yeah.
She was due to finish. This was literally like her last couple of months before her 25 was up.
So we've got 2 dead, 1 missing, 2 wounded. The wounds on the wounded guys, could they have been caused by, say, blades?
The two wounded guys, so the 2 dead ones were definitely blades. The two wounded, possibly. It seems more like they were caught in falling debris, or in their sort of their desire to get back up the elevator shaft again. They're back at work again in 48 hours max. There's no time for rest here. patch you up,
Okay.
get you back down again if the mines reopen.
Yeah. And but we can speak to them presumably.
You can speak to whoever you want on the mine. That's absolutely sure. That's part of what we've agreed to.
Good.
Just be aware that the workers they're understandably worked up. There's been a few fights. Most don't want to go down the mine. A couple of them are convinced that there's something in the new tunnels we opened. You know, we started up a new dig site before this happened. We found a nice, rich, thick vein of cerium, and you know what it's like. After a few days down there, Jenny vanishes, Marco and White dead, the injuries. You know, it can be like you spend all the time out and your imagination starts playing tricks on you, you know? It's. People are saying it was. Some are just saying, you know, they're refusing it. We told them it was. We tried to ease things down a bit. We told them it was Jenny's fault, then that she'd spaced herself. But I know it's not ethical, but, you know, we need to get these guys working again. But they're not falling for it. That's why we need you to figure out what's going on. What I will say is, she sort of looks at the two of you. Actually, where is your other crew member?
We'll add him to the list of the missing.
I think you shouldn't really be splitting up in here. There's no trust to corpos up here. Stress is really high. They can be unwelcoming at the best of times. And she sort of looks at Shay, says, especially for you and, well, and you, pretty boy. She nods at Misha. The two of you especially don't go missing. The other guy, they might not be as interested in him, but they still might want to start something with him. It's best to stay together up here if you can.
Noted.
And of course, there is the other death.
The death of our
Your former
schedule.
medical officer who died recently.
That's totally unrelated. Well, I say unrelated. Like we use robots in the mine, and they need looking after and repairing. And he was called down to patch someone up down there. They couldn't get up again. You know, they sort of broken their leg down there. He went down, and that was a freak accident. Someone had not made the robot safe, and he got in the way as they were doing some of the mining with their blast lasers, and cut him in half. But that was a totally an incident. That was written up.
Okay. So it's dangerous in the mine, but to counterpoint that, it's equally dangerous up here, and we shouldn't split up. But everything's fine, and it's most important that we get back to work immediately, because that way everybody's bonuses will be intact.
You got it. Most important thing's bonuses. We got to get the cerium going. We got to get the bonuses going. Half of the miners are done at the end of the month. We've got to get them off. But we can only do that if we can get the cerium going again. And to get that going, we need to get that mine open. We need to get them feeling safe to go back down there.
Okay, I'm going to sit back in the chair and glance across at Shay in case she's got anything she wants to wants to ask or add.
Yeah, where are the dead guys now? You storing them somewhere around here?
We keep because we're so close to the end of a few of them. We've just kept them up in the common room. We tend to keep bodies up there until a ship comes to resupply. So it might be that you're taking them back with you. I'm waiting for Maitland to hear, but they're in the common area, which is now the med bay.
Wonderful. I would like to examine them.
Of course, honestly, the whole base is open to you. Local time, it's 2 a.m. You won't have too many people up at the minute. You're more than welcome to go and have a look. She looks at you both in your full suits. She says, "You don't need your spacesuits down here. If you wish, there's you can leave them in storage if you so wish. It's up to you, of course. But we do have rebreathers." She taps hers. If you want, some people that have asthma and such like myself will find they need to use them. The air's very thin. I have to wear it all the time unless something that's driven me crazy. But most people are absolutely fine without and suffer very few negative effects.
Okay.
Okay. In that case, I shall at least pop open my helmet.
Ah, you fell for my ruse. No. Okay. You do taste the. It is breathable. It tastes. It's metallic. It's been recycled a billion times. You know, it's taken on every particle of sweat and fart and burp and just all mixed back up together.
The filters and the scrubbers not of the finest quality.
Well, the job was given to the company that could provide it for the cheapest.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
She nods over at the wall to all those rebreathers. Says, if you'd rather use rebreathers, just take one that hasn't got someone's initials on. Otherwise, feel free to walk around without. It's up to you guys.
You know, I think I will take one. I won't put it on immediately, but I will take one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Fantastic. Are you just taking, Shay, or are you wearing?
I'll just take one.
Just take. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll grab one for Liam as well, if there's another spare one.
Fantastic. She sort of nods curtly at you, looks back down at the desk, sort of at a folder, starts scribbling in it, and it seems like she has finished her initial talk with you.
Right, well, thanks for your help. I guess we'll get to it.
She sort of half waves her hand, mid-sentence, and then goes back to her work again.
I will get up and wander off in the same direction as Liam. Not in any particular hurry, you understand, but since it doesn't really matter which way we go, they all connect together, I will follow in that direction.
Yeah, okay, I'll follow.
So I assume, Shay, that you are making your way to the common room. Is that your current goal?
Yeah, I want to have a look at these bodies.
Cool. You head up past down that up that corridor to the top. There are boxes along that outside wall. You can see there's a whole range. They've all got the Maitland logo on. There's a lot that are empty of food and alcohol and coffee. Miners aren't supposed to drink on the job, but a good sort of mining operations manager will find a way. For the mental health basically of the crew, I guess, for little bits and pieces. You go through the closed door to admin. You see it's labelled admin, but the door is very much shut. There's a very small window, which doesn't give away much clue to what's inside. As you're walking around the corner, Liam, could you roll? And I've said Liam on purpose. Could you roll a charisma, please, with liaison?
Yes. That's 3 plus 4 is a 7.
You sort of hear the end of some sort of conversation, and you hear Liam's voice. So nothing to be worried about, I guess, but you can sort of hear Liam's voice around the corner. Because Liam, I'm guessing if you've chased after him, you're planning to catch up to the security officer.
Not aggressively. So I'll follow away and just take a look in each door on my way. But I'll aim to get like a little bit of ground, and then when I'm getting reasonably close, Liam will just shout, "Hey, which way to the? Where's the common? Where's the commons? Common room?"
By the time you've caught up with him,
I get a drink.
By the time you've caught up with him, it is pretty much it's just past the airlock and common room door, towards that next corner. Parks turns around to you, and he's not particularly friendly, but he'll respond. I guess he's cooled off a little bit. You can tell his mood's a little bit different to how it was. If you want a drink, the Commons is no longer the place you want to go, mate. Right, that's where the bodies are now.
What?
Unless you're a vampire, you ain't gonna get a drink in there.
Why are they keeping the bodies in the commons? It's for everyone, right?
Well, Maitland.
Don't tell me they've taken it away from you.
How long you work for Maitland?
Not long, but I can read between the lines, maybe.
The longer you work for Maitland, he sort of stops, reaches in his pocket, and pulls out a little toothpick. You don't know if he's doing it on purpose or if he's doing it to maintain a gruff exterior. He sort of pauses as he puts it into his mouth. The longer you work for Maitland's, the more they take away from you. It might be they come up short on a promise of a bonus. They promise you, say, 1,000 days, and then you get 700. And then maybe they promise that they'll stock your precious ship with decent coffee, and you just get like reconstituted brand stuff. And then slowly but surely they take away your hopes and dreams. They take away your health. They take away your life. And they take away the very places you can sit with other people and be human. And that, mate, is what they've done here. Common room's medbay, isn't it? They had to tick boxes. They had to have it there when people started getting injured. Oh no, now we need to take over the common room. Pool table, broken apart, mate. Not even in there anymore. That kept us sane. Kept the workers sane. Makes my job harder. No common room, It's like a prison. In fact, even prisons have common rooms.
Well, that's bullshit. And Liam's very much not the type of person, but he can. I like to think he can reasonably read a room with his education, maybe a bit of charisma. How do they expect you guys to get work done with no common room? You're out here mining away for them, making them loads of money, and first off, there's no med bay on a mining station, and now you've got no common room because that's the makeshift med bay.
Miners have always seemed to be disposable, right? You can train them up easy, just get some muscle-bound guys, hand them the right thing, send them down. One or two of them die every now and again. It's okay. A ship will come out with a new batch with like six guys. You know, a ship like yours will stop by a station, get a batch of miners bought out, replacements, bodies come back. You take the bodies back. Then Maitland don't have to pay for their pension. You know, their retirement. They just expect us to work. When they got rid of the commons. That's when they turned the Grahams into this special, you know, party ship. But instead of being able to go to the common room every evening after shift, you got to use the Grahams for 1 week out of every 10. You know, spending 9 weeks on sleep and work. That's it for 9 weeks, just for 1 week of drinking yourself into oblivion. Ain't worth it, is it?
No, no. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, you're disposable, right? Until you stop mining, and then all of a sudden they start caring again.
Well, that's the problem, you know, with this blockage, with whatever's happening down there. You know, if the serum ain't flowing, Maitlands are missing out. The other corporations, the other suppliers can muscle in. If we're not supplying the nearby systems, someone else will do it for them. You know, Maitland are losing money. They don't care how many miners they go through. They'll get another batch. If all 30 people on here died, they're just sent for another 30. You know, they don't care. In fact, that's good for them. Half of us are due to ship off soon. They can restart with a whole new 30. Honestly, mate. I'm sick of it. The miners are sick of it. And I'm with them, you know.
Yeah, I get that. What's top of their list? What are their priorities?
The
What are you
miners.
missing? Apart from the elevator, obviously.
And a nice pool table. Safety in that regard. Like, 2 people have turned up dead, right? And I don't know what you've been told. I don't know what your mates are being told by the boss lady, but there's someone missing, right? Jenny. I don't know, man. Something's not right. We said that she spaced herself, tried to get. Morale sucks anyway, right? But if someone thinks they've gone, if the crew think that someone's gone funny, but then space themselves, at least that's something less for them to worry about, you know? You can be like, sucks, she's gone a bit mad, she lost it, but she's not a problem anymore. And it's almost like a parable, you know, a parable to keep it together because it could be you know? And we thought big discussions about it. I didn't want to, but boss lady wanted us to tell them that. But they didn't believe it. I think she's downstairs still. I think she's in the mines.
What do they think if they don't believe it?
Make a list. Some think she was spaced. Some think that she's hiding up in the Grahams. Some think she's down there. Some think she is hiding in the pipes coming out at night mostly. You know. You know, if ever food goes missing, if there's less supplies than expected, you know, it's like, it's, the last couple of days have been, it's Jenny. Someone started leaving stuff out for her in the hallways, you know, when they go to bed. It's ridiculous. But that's what rumours get, isn't it?
Yeah. It's got to change though. It seems, you know, it's not a good way. It's not a good way for everyone to be living.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it's too dangerous right now, right? And I'm backing them. It's too dangerous for them to go to work. Management want me to get them back down there. I ain't doing it. I've got my bonus. I'm just waiting for my ship. You know, in 2 months, I think it is. There's 12 of us going in 2 months. Well, 11, I guess, if we can't find Jenny. And that's our priority. Don't care about the money. Just want to get off.
Yeah, sure. Well, listen. Thanks for the heads up. Where was it? Where was it? You said. Where can I get a drink?
Not in the Commons. If you're desperate, you can go and try and find a friend in bunks, but not 2 o'clock in the morning. A
Maybe I'll wait then.
couple of guys find places, you know. There's places. There's stashes of booze. Ask around, but no one's going to trust you. Don't expect friends here, yeah? In fact, I'm probably the biggest friend you got. And I don't even like you. And with that, he just turns and walks around the corridor, ignoring any calls for anything. And it's that final bit of the conversation that Misha and Shay heard as they walk around the corner. And in fact, you see them at the far end of the corridor.
Well, thanks, friend. We'll turn around and head back towards Misha and Shay. You guys all right?
Yeah. Learn anything new?
Jed is missing. The common rooms is no longer a common room. The pool table's gone. They're pissed off. Basically, they work, they sleep, they get some time up on the grams every now and then, and they feel unsafe.
And occasionally torn apart. You know, just to mix it up a bit.
Right. Yeah, I can. Sure. But yeah, that's about it. So no one's gonna like us.
Yeah, I get that feeling.
Not a new feeling for me, but if the other two of you need time helping with the adjustment, I'll do what I can.
Thanks.
Shay, you said you wanted to go and take a look at the bodies?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then I guess it's this way.
Yeah.
I will nod towards the common.
I'll lead the way then, I guess.
Fantastic. You open the door. It's opposite the airlock door. That's a very standard sort of airlock that you'd recognise in any Maitland ship or base. But instead, you go down into what was the common room. The sign on the wall says common room, but it's sort of been graffitied through, and there's like a red cross underneath it. And you go in, and in here the lights, as you can see, are totally off. It's incredibly dark in here, and your chest-mounted torches sort of play across a few shadows, but leave even more shadows. What you can see is there's propped up against one wall. There is what you can tell to be a pool table that's been broken down into its constituent parts. You know, the base is still connected. You can sort of see pockets in the corners, but the legs have sort of been snapped off and shoved up with it, and it's been propped up, half covered with a dust sheet. Some sort of tables and chairs. Half the chairs have been piled up, and there's a few. And instead of there being a good like half dozen tables, there's only like 2 tables out. The rest are, you know, when you have one table on its legs and the other turned upside down and put on top.
Yeah.
The rest are kind of like, there's a few piles of them with boxes of stuff, medical supplies and that, just shoved on top like shelves. But there's just like 2 tables with a few chairs around. Fridges and things like that used to be full of snacks appear to be full of some medical supplies. And there are two tables that appear to have bumpy looking sheets laid across the top of them.
Well, this looks cosy. And I'll see if I can feel around for a light switch.
Could you roll for me? And we're going to do two. First of all, roll your education for me, please, Shay.
Yeah. That's 2 + 2 is 4.
Okay. You wouldn't have the. Thanks, man. It's not where there's not a light switch where you'd expect one to be in your knowledge of how rooms work, by the door and things like that. You can roll an agility though for me, please.
Okay. That's 4 + 6 is 10.
Nice.
But through just feeling your arms around the wall and behind a couple of piled up piles of things, just hoping there's not some horrible alien creature going to grab at your arm as it sort of goes behind there. You do manage to find something that could potentially be a light switch. There appears to be some sort of button on it. It's not where you'd expect a light switch to be, but you found something.
Let's just press it anyway. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
You press that button. There's the briefest moment of not knowing what to expect, and then suddenly we take a break.
I mean, that was sudden, to be fair.
It's the break button. No.
How did you find a button that makes the stream take a break?
It's a little bit meta. Okay, let's take a 5-minute break. So if anyone needs a loo or get whatever you need to do, let's do that, and we'll come back in 5 minutes for the second half.
Fantastic.
Put some music up for you all. There's that. There's that. We're back. Welcome to the second chunk of tonight's Those Dark Places. And look at that. All three of our crew are still there, which means they're all still alive, despite this being a dangerous place they're in, as space is in general. Most dangerously of all, Shay just reached out and pressed a button without knowing what it was. And it wasn't actually...
No, we know what it was now. It caused an immediate break.
It was the brake man, of course, sorry. How foolish of me. And it could be anything, because she didn't do it with her education, but just purely by having long arms. A fine strength to have. Shay reaches out and presses the button. There's a moment, and then an alarm siren starts blaring out, and Red lights start flashing in the room. It does appear that you have pressed. Does appear you have pressed an alarm.
Damn
And
it.
the
This always happens. Every time I
noise
walk in a room.
the noise is ear piercing. It is incredibly loud, and the lights are like strobing around. There's like one central light that is strobing that reddy orange around, casting its shadow, then bright in your face, and then lighting things up. And you hear just over that. You hear some footsteps running down the hallway to down that right hand alleyway.
Okay. Can I quickly press the button again and see if it turns it off?
Double alarms.
um,
Twice as dead.
You can. Hang on a sec. I'm going to roll because I haven't decided whether it would or not. Let's leave it up to the dice gods to decide.
Ooh.
You press the button again, and everything stops except the footsteps.
Ah,
But you are plunged
yeah.
back into relative darkness. Just the flashing lights of your torches illuminating the room.
Nobody panic. It was just a drill.
There's the door crashes open on the right hand side, and framed in the outline. It's not very well framed because it's dark in the corridor, but just slightly lighter than in here. You do see a sort of a very skinny looking male frame. Not what you'd expect an average miner to look like, I guess. Who's in there? Rogers. It's not you again, is it? I told you I lock away the medicinal alcohol.
Yes, it was Rogers.
But we chased them off.
Yeah.
I don't recognise your voice, actually. I'm going to give you that. Roll a charisma. The pair of you. Come on. It's not going to work, but I appreciate you.
Okay, so it's a 1 plus a 4 is a 5.
With liaison, Luke.
No, I'm not giving you liaison.
As 5 plus 2 is a 7.
He sort of points to you, your outline, Liam. I guess you can vaguely see. You. What does Rogers look like?
I don't know. I only saw the back of their head.
It was very dark.
There were lights flashing. It was quite disorientating. Why? Have you not seen them before?
You're not a miner. Everyone on this base knows what Rogers looks like, what Rogers smells like. Who are you?
I never said I was a miner. I'm Liam Duturi. We came down on the grounds.
Yeah, that explains a lot. Who are you? He looks towards Shay's shadow.
Shay Hawkins, at your service.
Oh, milady. And you? He nods towards Misha's shadow.
Mr. Renkov, you have a very loud siren here.
Well, yeah. You kind of... Don't you think that when there's something dangerous happening, it's important that everyone can hear it?
I mean, I probably would think that's a good idea, but right now I can't get over just how loud it was.
Just, it is loud, and you were right underneath it. Go and there's some bottles of water in the corner. Grab one and swallow deeply a few times. I think.
Thank you.
I think that works. I don't know. I think that's what I'm supposed to tell you.
I will, in fact, go and grab one of the bottles, but I won't take a swig yet.
The bottle is, you sort of take it from a thing that should be a fridge, but it's warm inside. It doesn't feel great. It's room temperature at best. Anyway, what are the three? Why are the three of you coming into my my med bay at 2:30 in the morning?
Well, I thought I'd examine the dead bodies.
No, is that what you're here for? To
Partly.
Are you taking the bodies back with you?
We haven't received orders to that effect.
Oh, I hope you have. It's bad for morale. It's hard to know what to do. So I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell the crew, to be honest.
As a medical officer, I would advise that you, in the future, you don't let people die.
There's a
That's probably what
pause.
you should be doing.
Roll a charisma, please. You can as a liaison.
Thanks. That's a 2 plus 4 is a 6.
The figure takes out a cigarette and he sparks it up, and immediately it's almost like a trained reaction. He walks over to the nearest air circulation vent and breathes it out. There's sort of a slight alarm, like a light sort of flashes up over the air circulation vent, so he immediately just blows it through that way. You know, the station's always struggling with bad air, so it's almost like a learned response that if he's going to smoke, get it straight into the air, straight into the air vents. Um, my name's Medical Officer Latimore, and I am new here, but if I have a chance of keeping someone alive, I like to think I can. There was not a chance I was going to keep these alive.
What happened?
I don't know. Apparently, they were sliced up with some sort of blade. I don't know what happened. There's blades kept down there. It might have been an incident. It's possible they got caught in their, in freeing with webbing, or just no idea. I just know they were brought up to me, and by the time they're up, they'd lost so much blood they were already dead. I couldn't save them. I just bag them and tag them and wait for them to be sent home to their families. I guess. I don't know. Maybe make them just turn them into food. Hard to know.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Like, meat in the sandwiches has been getting worse, don't you think, over the last couple of years?
I mean, I haven't been here that long, but I wouldn't say the quality is that great.
You see him basically. He's drained his cigarette in like almost record time, and he stomps out on the floor, and he immediately lights another one. And as that light flickers over the air circulation vent, he immediately breathes up into there, and he stays beneath it as he talks to you. Like, I don't know what to say about the bodies. You can look at them if you want. I suppose I'm up now, but it's dark. The lights won't be on properly until 6. But they're running on low energy. They keep the hallways on low, but most of the rooms, except security, you ain't going to get lights. If you want to look at them properly, I can meet you here dead on 6 before everyone's up and about, really, if you want.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like I've got much of a choice.
You can look in the dark, but, you know, it's how much you want to get from the bodies, I suppose. I'm going back to bed anyway, but the bodies are over there. He points to what you thought might have been the bodies on the table. Is not what he's pointed at. He's pointed to like the far corner of the room, which appears to be sort of there's some sheets that have been put around a frame, so it's been like a corner that's sort of been turned into like a miniature morgue sort of area, and you can see a few black bags shoved up in that corner. Once he's sort of shone a light there, they're bagged up in there. If you want to look at them now, feel free. Otherwise, I'll see you at 6, and I'll talk you through it together. Now, if excuse me, and he drains his cigarette again, drops it down, and heads to the door. I've got to be up in a few hours, and I need my beauty sleep. And he heads to the door and he walks out.
Okay, see you at 6.
At 6. Oh, and if you need a place to sleep, the hallway's pretty comfy. And then he's gone.
Noted. Well, that went well.
Yeah. He seemed okay.
He seemed very not a minor as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not wild about this gap in the community between the miners and the bosses.
No, but then I suppose that's not our job to worry about.
It's true. Don't need to storm the Bastille, I suppose.
Not today.
Yeah.
Feels like a job for yesterday.
It does feel like a job. Yeah.
Listen, we're never gonna stop Maitland from treating these people like rubbish, or caring more about them, or giving them what they need. I guess we can try and help them, make the place safer. That's feels like a way to get them back to work and to help them out at the same time. But
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I don't think the answers are up here. I think they're down in the mine, and we're not getting down there until the morning, are we?
certainly not until the shaft's fixed.
So maybe he's right. We find a quiet bit of hallway and sit down for a few hours and see if we can get some sleep.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I kind of want to sleep in here though. Just felt like he was making a point of telling us to sleep in the hallway because he didn't want us to sleep in there. I might have been misreading the situation. After you two.
I mean, realistically, there are only normally two things of entertainment you can do on this place, aren't there? You can play pool and you can stare at the dead bodies, and they've taken the pool table down.
Apparently.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to sleep wherever seems sensible to you. I just think we should stay together, if you know what I mean.
Definitely.
Yeah, sure. It seems like an odd thing to state, but I'm not against it.
I'm not
We've been
propositioning you, I
forewarned.
promise.
Well, no, of course. Forewarned by what was her name again? The first lady
Um,
or someone
New
else?
Flock, the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. That's slightly worrying, but
Yeah, she seemed to be under the impression that the miners don't like corporate. Not sure we really give off the best corporate air, but
No.
I suppose yeah, we're probably the most corporate thing they've seen in a while, though. I'd imagine.
yeah.
It's good to know.
And I can understand the feeling, if you're a miner, you're a miner, and if you're anything else, you're not. I get the concept of us and them. I just wish we were them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I do feel rather exposed without Clarson.
Yeah,
Mind you, you're quite handy with a gun, Misha.
and I do have one if I need it. But so, you want to keep on in the common, or do we want to find a quiet corner of the corridor?
Well, after that, wherever's least likely to have a load of miners come out before we wake up, you find us lying there. If I'm honest.
Well, she said, some people tend to crash in storage, some in recyc, and some in the bunks. So, just thinking about it logically, if we head back to the sort of northwest corner, closer to the admin,
Yeah, I
that's
must admit it
probably
does.
going to be the corner that has the least foot traffic.
Yeah, and it does smell marginally better out there.
Yeah, true.
That's a very good point.
Liam, you're still in your space helmet at this point. You might have noticed the other two are without, but they've got rebreathers sort of strapped to them, I guess. Just as a point. I'm not forcing anything on you, but just so that you know. From a role-playing position.
Yeah, I will hand Liam the spare rebreather.
Thanks. He'll
No props.
find somewhere to fasten it onto his suit.
And I say that because your suit has flashed up with low oxygen, because you've still been breathing of it, while the others have not.
Oh, son of a! And he'll debate for a minute, and the harm of breathing in heavily mined and recycled air. Look at his low oxygen and sort of shrug and fit the rebreather. Why are you making notes, Luke?
Hey?
Why are you making notes?
Just so that I know that you're safe from the alien bacteria. You're all right, mate.
Good,
Don't
good.
you worry. Sadly, the person that used to rebreathe before you had terrible breath and gum disease. Okay. So if you do wish to start looking for a corner to bunk up in, I'm happy to head you down that corridor and see what we can find.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
As you head out, and it's dark, the low light still, there is no one in this corridor. And as you know before, there are some boxes around the outside, and there are spaces between boxes, and the boxes are movable, and the corridor is it's a couple of meters wide. So if you lay down one side, people could still walk past.
Hmm.
You know, if you went lengthways. So there's there. So it's up to you how you want to bunk yourself up. But there are spaces. There's boxes. There's you can make yourself a nest or lie out in the open. The one thing you don't have is a nice duvet.
No, but we're wearing spacesuits, and it's an air conditioned place. It won't be that uncomfortable.
No.
The boxes, are they sort of hard cases, or are we talking cardboard things?
Hard cases with the old metal closet open, sort of. Your classic
Uh,
pop the case kind of buckles.
Fancy.
if
Fancy. Very low standards,
if we
Liam.
find something that's sort of briefcase sized rather than steamer trunk sized,
Yeah, there'll be some of them. I'll give you that.
then
Three.
lie it down on its side and use it as a pillow.
Well, as comfy as that looks, I'm going to lean up against the wall. Sit down
Fair
and
enough.
lean up against the wall.
Liam will just use the heavily padded arm of his spacesuit to rest his head on.
Fantastic. And I guess slowly you struggle to try to sleep. There, being in the new place, the uncertainty of it, the words of those you've spoken to ringing in your minds. I guess not quite knowing what to expect, being in a new environment. Could Misha and Shay both please make a strength roll, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In space, no one can hear you snoring.
3 plus 5 is 8.
A strength roll. That's 6 plus 4 is a 10.
Thank you.
Nice. Good work, both of you.
Okay. Good to know. You do all finally drift off at different points. Gilly's gentle, Shay's gentle snoring. Almost blending with the aircon. It's white noise is really good at helping you sleep. It's a gentle, almost purr, and the noise aids you in your sleep, and you all drift off into a dreamless sleep. Rudely awoken by the thundering of multiple footsteps towards you. What feels like 20 minutes later, but could be as much as 5 hours later. Hard to tell. But you hear multiple feet running towards you and some cheering and shouting.
Right.
Open up with bleary eyes as of it. Is that half time?
Is it like celebration cheering?
Everything is
Or
wonderful.
Well, I mean, it seemed out of place, but
No, it's not. Without
Just
opening your eyes,
general cheering.
it's like a cheering on. With sort of, come on, you can do it. Come on. And you hear the footsteps. It sounds like 4 pairs of footsteps